welcome to episode 32, How to Be a Finance Girly. So, in today's episode, I'm basically just going to cover 5 different ways on how to become that financial girly. So, today's episode is going to look a little different because Joe and I are trying out this solo episode thing. So, essentially how that works is this week I'm going to be doing my episode just me talking, and then next week will just be an episode of Joe talking. So, that way, we switch it up a little bit, and we've been both pretty swamped and busy because I'm actually coming live from my hometown, so that's pretty cool. Alright, anyway, so to start off, everyone's finances look different. We all have different backgrounds, different stories, different ways, or different things we like to spend our money on. Just for personal background, information, I'm a full-time worker, full-time in school. I'm married, but I still have bills to pay, of course. While my finances may look a little different from yours or whoever, just because it is going to be my husband and I. These 5 tips are applicable to everyone, whether you're single, married, divorced, etc. Everybody can use these tips. But just a full disclaimer, this is my advice. I'm not a licensed or whatever finance person. This is just what's helped me personally, and I feel I could benefit some other people. So feel free to take this advice and use it or apply it in your life if you would like, but of course do your own research and do what's best for you. Alrighty, so for the first tip I have, of course, and you're going to hear this again and again, is budgeting. Having a budget of your income is very important. So for me personally, I try to do the 50-30-20 split. This basically means that 50% of income is towards bills and fixed expenses. 30% is towards other expenses like going out to eat or just stuff that I like to keep on my journal checking for this and that. And 20% is for savings. So the 50-30-20 budget and split is pretty, I feel standard for a lot of people, and it does work, and it's a nice way to see your money broke down into percentages. So then you're oh wow, if you go ahead and find the percentages of what you're spending your money on, and let's say it's completely different than this, that's okay as long as it's fitting your needs. Because I feel a lot of college students might not have the opportunity to save as much money as somebody who is just working a 9-to-5, not in school. So everybody's budget looks different, so just find what works for you. But I do feel between your income, you need to have something that's going to go towards your bills, fun money, and then money that you're saving on top of money that could be pulled out from your paycheck for retirement or other things, because that's a very important thing that you should utilize and take charge of, because honestly that money it goes out of your paycheck and then it just that paycheck goes directly into your account. It's perfect. You don't have to think about it. Let it do the work for you. Which leads us into tip number 2, investing. So that word investing, honestly, at first for me, it held a very negative connotation. It's scary, something I didn't want to dabble in. But there are so many resources out there, like Vanguard, I believe it's what it's called. It's a good resource to look into for investing your money through things that are going to be maybe slow over time, but a high reward at the end. But it's kind of not you're doing something where you're watching the market. You know what I'm saying? I don't personally feel inclined to do stuff like that because it's a little scary. I feel slow investing is what I personally enjoy because I like to be a little bit more financially secure in that way and not lose a bunch of money. But I recommend looking into some resources like that. All right, so into the third tip, credit cards. Just kind of from personal experience of what I've seen friends or family go through with credit cards or people that I've worked with, I hear time and time again all these people who just rack up all this debt on their credit card and then can't pay it off or have to pay off the monthly minimum or whatever. And it's every situation's different. You can't just hear some what is it, Dave Ramsey be pay off your credit cards, don't have credit debt, whatever. But it's easier said than done, right? So essentially, I think credit cards are things that you need to use smartly if that makes sense. Like, there are credit cards out there that have really, really, really good benefits and really good cash back opportunities. So it's like, why wouldn't you just use your credit card, even if you're getting a small percentage back? So I would love to do like another episode or more videos on content on like credit cards and what to use, what's best for you, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's scary because all these information or like ads are pushed out, like Discover, etc. Like a bunch of things are like pushed out where you're just like, like it's an influx of information. So maybe seeing some things broken down or just seeing and researching other things that are going to be like useful for you, because honestly, if you go to YouTube and you type in like Amex Platinum card, you're going to find so many videos about that. If you type in like Discover cashback card, whatever it's called, you're going to find so many videos on that from people. And like, while there's probably a lot of like maybe misleading information out there with all credit cards, there's a lot of good information out there in ways that you can use credit cards to your advantage. And now, like I said, everybody's situation's different. Some people might have student loans, some people might have medical loans, like etc. Like every situation is so different and complex. So a lot of like these videos I see are saying you need to do this and that, or like you have to spend this much money on this, it's just not feasible. Everybody is a little different, but I think if you get a good understanding of your finances and where your money is going and things that you can cut back on, and like a set amount you use to like maybe pay off your debts every month or something like that, you will be in good shape. Just getting a hold of your finances is a big step, but it's something that's going to really benefit you in the long run. All right, and this leads me to the fourth tip that I have. Basically, we kind of already covered this, or I already covered this, sorry, but finance podcasts and finance YouTube videos. So if you literally go into Spotify and you type in like podcast finance, you will find a lot of podcasts that could help. And I think just listening to other people's maybe experience, tips, or like just any different thing, because the word finance, I mean, there's so much in there that's like, you could use to your advantage. So I think just listening to that maybe when you're driving to work or on a walk, etc. Like there's so many ways that you can get this information in your brain. Think about it, think what works best for you, because honestly, if you have that like voice like telling you like the podcast like, okay, you need to work on this or do this, and you're constantly hearing that, you're going to start feeling motivated to do that. It's kind of like in marketing almost. You have to see something so many times before it starts like sticking in your brain. It's the same thing for this. You have to hear something or tips so many times before you start applying it to your life. And that's the biggest and most important thing, I feel like. And there's so many great resources out there and people who are so knowledgeable in this, and they can definitely help. But it is really important to get a hold of your finances and do what's best for you. Alrighty, and for the fifth tip, self-discipline. And I know that might sound like a little cheesy, but if you're trying to be that financial girly, you need some self-discipline. If you're trying to, get a little Erewhon smoothie and live out your best life going on vacay or whatnot, you need to get a hold of your finances and make sure that you can afford that. Or, like, not that mentality, grind now, like, treat yourself later, but you just need to get a hold of your finances where you can treat yourself with those things, because budgeting doesn't have to be, like, you have to get rid of everything fun in your life. It's, like, you need to accommodate those fun things and sustain your lifestyle while also bringing in the income to do so. So, self-discipline is important, and sticking to a budget that you have is important. If you're married or you have a family, or you have like roommates or whatnot, it's important to have these like discussions and like know where you stand financially. It's very important, because like debt is something that's scary for me personally, but there's ways to combat it and ways to overcome it if like you're in that situation. Like, I don't know, it's hard to deal with, but there's so many resources and things out there, and self-discipline is so important that can help you overcome that. Alrighty, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, I mean, solo episodes are kind of fun, but I kind of miss having Joe. So we'll see how many of these we do. Let us know if you like these videos, or if you like are interested. I plan on posting some more finance like content, I guess, in the future, maybe on like TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. You guys have a lovely rest of your week. And oh wait, shoot. Okay, I'm going to do my favorite thing of this week. And my favorite thing of this week has been boba. I've been getting some boba recently that have been really good, and I just forget how like much I love it. And I feel like it's just like a good treat, a good drink, and like it's something fun to go out and get. Anyways, alrighty. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, How to Be That Finance Girly. And have a wonderful week and enjoy next week's episode with JoJo. Bye.